Good morning, everyone. Hey, good morning. I have to do this in the morning because I'm heading back to the crock pot. Very exciting. I should have done a couple more of these when we were really cold during the week, and I baked instead. And so we're going back to this lovely cookbook that I love so much. Fix It, Forget It, big cookbook. This is the one that's got the 1400 in it. I love that some people went out and bought this book after I featured it the first time, and they're like, "Yeah!" And then I kind of let them know some of my favorite recipes in it. But I said, "Oh, discover it yourself. I don't want to give you any bias on the things that I love very much." So we're doing today something called, I'm using a sirloin roast. Let me show you my sirloin roast that's in the crock pot. Can you see it? There you go. I've got a sirloin roast in the crock pot. And with that, I'm going to do, it doesn't tell me which kind of roast. I like these because they're kind of generic when it comes to the roast. You can use one or the other. You can use, this is not the big wrapped one. This is the one that lays flat, but it is still sirloin. It's going to be Zippy beef roast. Now, remember the last one we made was with ginger ale. And it was fantastic, and flour and onion soup and brown gravy mix, that kind of thing. Today, it's going to use soda again because that sweetness is so wonderful. First of all, I'm going to take the recipe as it is and then add my twist to it, because you know me, once I make it the first time, then I add my own twist to it. But the one thing is that does start with is a can of soda. It's a can of Coca-Cola. It does say here that instead of using Coca-Cola, you can use cooking sherry if you'd like, 1 cup of cooking sherry. Instead of, there's mushrooms that go into here. Instead of that, you can, it just will go through here and talk about the different things they talk about for substitutes. But here's my cola, but do note that it's caffeine free because I am allergic to caffeine, so it is legal for me. I've got my beef in the crock pot already. Now we're going to go down here. Get you to the bowl. You can see what's going on here. Put the bowl here where you can definitely see what's going on. So we're starting with, I might need a bigger bowl. I thought that was a big enough bowl, but I don't think it is because I'm going to need to move it around. So I'm going to grab this magical habit, a bigger bowl. Bring to a bigger bowl for this because I do not believe this is going to be big enough. There you go. So one regular 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola. The next thing is a 10 and 3 ounce can, which is a regular can of cream of mushroom soup. So here I have cream of mushroom soup, generic brand, anything is good. I just happen to wonderfully have the Campbell's brand. There are a few other things you can do if you like amp it up a little bit. Cream of mushroom soup or cream of mushroom with the shiitake mushrooms in it. I'm going to be adding mushrooms to it, so I'm not going to use this one today. Thankfully, I had some mushrooms. So in goes the can of cream of mushroom soup. Let me get my spoonula. That's all I cook with is spoonulas. I have a whole container full of spoonulas. They're my favorite. I get them everywhere. If anybody ever finds spoonulas for sale, grab them because they're getting harder and harder to find. I originally got them years ago from the Christmas tree shop because that was the only place that really had them. This one happens to be the Pioneer woman because I buy her stuff, and she did happen to have it, but as much as I love her things, they are quite expensive though, so it's not like I can go on a buying binge and get all her stuff as much as I'd love to. So this one was kind of expensive as it was. So here you go. So then, and I'm actually going to get this off of here because I only needed it to clean the can out for now. And then it says to do an envelope of dry onion soup. Normally you use just Lipton onion soup mix. Today I'm going to amp it up a little bit. I'm going to use Lipton onion mushroom soup mix just to get that extra little thing. But it just says 1 envelope of dry onion soup. This is so easy. And then you're just going to walk away when we're done. You're going to be cracking up how easy this is. So there you go. Again, what you have on hand, number 1, and how you want to mess with the recipe yourself, number 2. So I'm mixing this up together, getting it good and stirred. And now I'm also going to add some of the variations you can add is they say a 4-ounce can of mushrooms. Well, mine is bigger than 4 ounces, and since we love our mushrooms and onions around here, I'm just going to throw it in. I don't have the 4-ounce can. I used to buy it in the 4-ounce, but then I realized when I made something, I always used at least 2 cans. So I started buying the bigger one. And who lives here? Tim. So obviously I've chopped up a bunch of onions. I'm just going to throw a whole bunch in there because we can't make a roast or anything without like a ton of onions in it, right? So as you can see, I've already amped it up and made it my own recipe by adding these particular things. I've changed. It's not just onion soup mix. I've used onion mushroom soup. I did just do the regular cream of mushroom soup, but you can use cream of mushroom and shiitake, crimini and shiitake mushroom. It just, you can, those cream of soups, you can do cream of celery soup. You can do cream of anything. If you want it to be a little bit different, you could do cream of cheddar in here, because you know how we made the rice and how the cheddar was really, really, really good with the rice that day. So any cream of, don't say, oh, I can't make this because I don't have cream of mushroom soup. Just grab any one of your cream ofs from your shelf. There's so many different ones. Just cream of bacon. Cream of bacon would be a fantastic one in here as well, because you'd have that little bit of bacony taste, and then you put your mushrooms and onions and everything in it. So like I say, any cream of soup would work in this recipe for sure. And then it says that I'm supposed to sprinkle with the dry soup mix, but I just kind of stuck it in here and added it all together. And then just pour it on. Pour it in there, baby. Oops. I'm sorry you're watching me pouring, but you're not seeing where it's heading. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. Can you see? Yep, you can now. Sorry about that. I forgot to move the camera again. Again, filming by myself is just hard. When I've got Tim here, it just makes such a difference. Now, the recipe says to put the soda and the soda, the mushroom soup together, and then sprinkle with the dry onion soup. But I just always just put it together. So then that's all there is to it. You can see how full it is, how wonderful. I mean, this is going to be some pretty great gravy when it's done, of course. Now remember, we talked about this before when we did the one with, can you see that? How I close it? Now we're going to put it, it's going to be on high for 5 to 5 hours, and on low for 8 to 10 hours. So there you go. That's it. Now, what was I just going to say? Oh yeah, so remember, whoops, camera stand fell over. I'm just so professional, aren't I? Sorry guys. I miss my man. Remember that how to make the gravy if it comes out runny and you want it to be thick gravy again. Remember this trick that we did with the other ones. You're going to use your cornstarch. You're going to use a little container like this, or even smaller. Put a little bit of water in it, probably, up to about here. And then add like a tablespoon at a time. You do 1 tablespoon of, cornstarch till it's dissolved. Stick it in here, and you can literally watch very quickly as it gets thick. So if this gravy that we've made with everything fun doesn't come out thick enough for you, thicken it up with your cornstarch. Very simple. If after the first application is not thick enough, then just add a little more water again into that container. Another tablespoon of cornstarch until you get the thickness that you like. More than likely, it's probably going to come out thick enough anyways, because we're using so much vegetable, being the mushrooms and onions, and so there's already so much volume in here. It's probably going to come out thick enough, but if not, I'm definitely going to use cornstarch. So that's what's for dinner today, and your video is really early in the morning because I want to be able to have it ready for dinner tonight. So it's called a Zippy beef roast. Very easy. You've got your my variations in it, but the ones that were standard were the soda, the dry the dry soup packet, and the can of cream of mushroom soup or cream of anything that you've found. And again, there's also variations of these, and as you can see, I use the onion mushroom. Have fun with it, make it your own recipe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.